But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas. The whole Christmas season. No, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be that his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, Grinchy frown at the warm windows below in their town, for he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow's Christmas. It's practically here. He growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming, for tomorrow he knew every Who girl and boy would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and then, oh, the noise. Oh, the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. Then all the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. They'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They'd feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. But then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together, and with Christmas bells ringing, they'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas thing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 43 years I've put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea. Oh, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what I'll do, the Grinch laughed in his throat. And he made a quick Santa Claus. What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, why, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. He simply said, well, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max. Max! And he took some red thread and he tied a big horn to the top of his head. And then he gathered some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh. And he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch yelled, "Giddy up!" as the sleigh started down to where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All the windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air, and all the Who's were dreaming sweet dreams without care when he came to the first little house on the square. "This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. He slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, and then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. "These stockings," he grinned, "are the first thing to go." And then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present: pop guns, bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums, and he stuffed them in bags. And then the Grinch, very nimbly, stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. He slunk to the icebox and he took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. And the Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed the bags up the chimney with glee. "And now," grinned the Grinch, "I will stuff up the tree." He grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound, like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small who, Cindy Lou Who, was not more than 2. Ugh, the Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking my Christmas tree? Why?" Oh, but that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought of a lie and he thought it up quick. "Oh, my sweet little tot," the fake Santa Claus lied. "There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side, so I'm taking it back to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there and then I'll bring it back here." As Fib fooled the child, he patted her on the head, got her a drink, and sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. And he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On the walls, he left nothing but hooks and some wire. The one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Well, then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. Well, it was 1/4 dawn. All the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled, packed up their ribbons, their wrappings, the tags, the tinsel, the trimmings, and the trappings. Then, 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Boo-boo to the Who's, he was grinchily humming. They're finding out now. No, Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouth will hang open for a minute or 2. And then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, "Boo!" "That's a noise," grinned the Grinch, "that I simply must hear." So he paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear. He did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow, but the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry. Very. The Grinch stared down at Whoville. He popped his eyes and then he shook. And what he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came somehow or other. It came just the same. And as he stood there with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, puzzling and puzzling, how could this be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And then he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. And then he thought of something that he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from the store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, maybe a little bit more. What happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And then I forgot the next line. He whizzed with his load in the bright morning light, and he brought back the presents and the food for the feast. And then he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.
Yeah.